Welcome back to Psychology 650. The purpose of this video is to take a look at the individual paper on research-based interventions on stress disorders, anxiety disorders, conduct disorders, and ADHD paper. So in this video we're going to cover the assignment process, where to post your paper, the objectives of the paper and how to incorporate those into headings, and then talk again about some critical points for papers. The assignment requires that you select one of the following: a stress disorder, anxiety disorder, conduct disorder, or ADHD from the university material film list. And then prepare a 1,050 to 1,500 word paper that discusses research-based interventions to treat a stress disorder, anxiety disorder, conduct disorder, or ADHD. And all you need to do is select one of these. You don't have to address each individual disorder, just select one of them. And then post your assignment through the assignment link. The objectives for this paper need to be incorporated into headings just like any other paper. And if you use the headings that I suggest, you'll be fine. So the first objective for this paper is to evaluate 3 peer-reviewed research studies using the University of Phoenix material, research analysis. And this is how I would suggest that you do your first level 1 heading based on this objective. You would write 3 peer-reviewed research studies on post-traumatic stress disorder, for example. You could plug in any other stress disorder, for example, panic disorder if you wanted to. And again, don't include, for example, in your title. And remember, as a review, the level 1 title is centered on the page, double-spaced, in bold, a combination of upper and lowercase letters, and there is no period. And again, as always, when you go from one objective to the next, support your logic with a transition sentence. In addition, because we're looking at 3 individual studies relative to the disorder that you're looking at, you're going to need to support your logic with 3 separate peer-reviewed references. The next objective reads, conceptualize the disorder using the biopsychosocial or diathos stress models. Here's how I would present this heading: the causes of post-traumatic stress disorder, for example, according to the biopsychosocial model, for example. You could also put something like the causes of panic disorder according to the diathos stress model. And again, don't include, for example, in your titles. Double space, bold, no period, upper and lowercase letters centered on the page. Support your logic with a literary reference you have not yet used in this paper. This needs to be a standalone, separate literary reference relative to this particular point. And then give me a good transition sentence, moving me from this subject to the next. And the next is, discuss the treatments or interventions that have been shown to be the most effective for your selected disorder, and then talk a little bit about why. Here's how the heading would look: best practices for the treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay? Support your logic with a literary reference you haven't used in this paper. So again, use the objectives as headings. Follow the examples that I've posted. You'll be just fine with that. Stick with APA format. So here's some critical points relative to all papers, and we've gone over this material in every video we've done so far in preparation for a paper. Give me a solid introductory paragraph that tells me why it's important I should read this paper. Tell me what you're going to tell me, even if you just simply list the objectives. Make sure that you address each objective in the paper. Use headings, use transition sentence, and then give me a solid concluding paragraph that reminds me why it was important for me to read this and summarizes the main points or objectives of the paper. Always use APA format for in-text references in the reference page. Watch spelling, grammar, and punctuation. So I often say this, but it's important to think about writing papers in this way. Write the paper as if you're trying to explain the concepts to a friend, someone that knows absolutely nothing about the material. A lot of students get hung up thinking that, well, the professor knows all this material, so I can use slang, I can take shortcuts, and he'll understand. But that's not APA format. All right, so in review, we've taken a look at the assignment process, where to post your paper, how to tie in the objectives into headings, and critical points. The next video covers the Learning Team paper on symptoms and causes. Thank you.